once I kind of lost all my usable vision when I was 14, I went through obviously a very dark stage, no pun intended, maybe pun intended.
Welcome back, everyone, to Keep Kickin with Kai. I am joined by a very special guest today, the queen herself, Anastasia Pagonis. Oh my gosh, so I got to talk to you super briefly just before we started filming, and you are just a ray of sunshine, might I say. I absolutely love your energy. We've been mutuals on TikTok and Instagram for a little bit, but how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. I'm kind of fangirling over you. So
Stop, because I was telling all of my friends, I was like, listen, I love this girl's content on TikTok. She is just, like I said, a ray of sunshine, a beautiful ball of energy. I am fangirling over you. So let me get into a little bit. Let me hype you up for a quick second. You are a Paralympian and a gold medalist at that. Are you still a world record holder?
I am. Yes, thankfully. Fingers crossed that we'll keep it that way for a little while.
Oh, I have a feeling you're just going to keep it forever and ever. Like, I don't think anyone will come close to you. I'll say that right now. I'm a call it out right now, and they will be playing this. Listen, nobody's going to beat her record. She's going to be the world record holder forever, period.
Okay, yes. From your mouth to God's ears. Let's keep it that way.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you know what? I definitely want to get right into it. So we will go back to you're a Paralympian. You started losing your vision at 12 years old. Tell me about, first of all, what was going through your head, how that affected you emotionally, mentally, physically. Like, how did the doctors tell you? How did you find out? What is that story there?
Yeah, so actually something that I've kind of been discovering the past few months is, did I ever have vision? That's kind of a question that I've been kind of confused with and asking my parents, like, do you guys think I ever had vision?
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that obviously I had better vision than I have now, but was I ever perfectly sighted? Because I thought it was kind of just my normal. Like, I remember growing up and people pointing to things and being like, do you see that car or that person over there? And me thinking they're magical and that they can see that. So I don't think I ever really had vision, but I was diagnosed at 12. And actually the way I found out was terrible. So we were at Columbia, totally calling this guy out, totally. So we were at Columbia Hospital and we went through probably 10 hours of just diagnosing and tests, and it was fun. And then the guy comes in and he talks into a speaker telling another doctor pretty much what is happening to me and how I'm going to go blind. And that's pretty much how we found out.
So like, this was...
He didn't even have the audacity to speak to us. It was awful.
You have to tell me, when the doctor was speaking on the speaker, did he know that you could hear?
Yes, he knew that we could hear. He was in the same room as us, but he just has no bedside manners. So he was kind of just like talking into the speaker and then left. No questions.
So he just dropped the bomb on you and was like, good luck out there in the real world. No way. Okay, so when you heard that, obviously, I'm sure I cannot, and many people cannot imagine getting news like that. My stomach like dropped even when you told me that. So what was going through your head?
At that time, I've always been a very like nonchalant person, not really cared. I didn't really care about anything, to be honest. So I thought, okay, just kind of gonna live my life. Driving was the biggest thing for me, knowing that like I'm gonna be able to drive. But I was pretty stable for a while. I could see 2400. So pretty much to explain to you how I used to be able to see was if you put your fists in front of your face, I had no central vision. So that's kind of how I used to see. And then when I was 14, I lost all my usable vision, which was like the big drop.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we were talking just before this, and I said I know that seeing and blindness, let's say, is a spectrum.
Yes.
So where and how would you describe where you are on the spectrum right now? You told me like shapes. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, so it's really confusing for me to kind of like explain.
Of course. Of course.
It's just very confusing. But I would say that I can see like shapes, shadows, and light perception. But yeah, that's kind of,
And
I'm
it's
diagnosed with like no usable vision.
yeah, and like I've
That's
said, it's such a spectrum that, like, I would say one visually impaired person compared to another, you can't compare
no,
experiences. You can't compare what you both are going through, which brings me into swimming.
yeah.
So, did you ever start swimming before you lost your vision?
I always knew how to swim. I
Yep.
mean, I was raised in the pool in the ocean, but I was originally a soccer player.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, as you could probably imagine, getting kicked in the face with a soccer ball, it wasn't working for me.
It's not worth it, let me tell you.
Yeah,
I could not imagine.
yeah, it wasn't fun. We had lots of black eyes and just, it wasn't it.
No,
Uh,
wasn't the look we
yeah.
were going for.
So my eye specialist recommended that I tried a less contact sport,
Mhm.
and I tried swimming, and I kind of just like fell in love with it. I felt free. It felt like my happy place, and it really is.
I love it. So I do have a funny story about me swimming. So obviously you played soccer and went into swimming. Now I also played soccer and I tried joining my high school swim team, and let me tell you, it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I got in the pool and I'm a competitor, listen, like I'm athletic, and I really thought that swimming would be a breeze. I get in the pool, I'm like, I'm moving my arms and my legs as much as I can, and it turns out I wasn't really going anywhere, to the point where my coach thought that I was joking around. She was like, "Okay, now like let's take it seriously." And that was when I knew, listen, swimming is not my sport, and I'll stick to the soccer on land.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised though, because usually when you're athletic, you can
Oh.
kind of grab onto most sports.
Oh, I've done
But
everything,
swimming is
but
terrible. Swimming
yes,
is a rough one.
it is hard. So let's go back to visibility. Seeing on the spectrum, you have to wear a blindfold, correct? Or blacked out goggles.
Yes, blacked out goggles. So in the Paralympics, there's 3 vision classifications. I've
Yes.
been through all 3.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
you have experienced it all.
I really have. So the first one is pretty much the least severe, and then they have a little more severe, and then the most severe, which is the classification that I'm in right now.
Mhm.
And to make the playing field as fair as possible, we all wear blacked out goggles.
And yeah, that makes perfect sense. So, turning in the pool. So, I can obviously barely swim, so I can't imagine doing a front flip, a back flip underwater, running, swimming towards a cement wall. I think that's absolutely terrifying.
Oh
How
yeah,
do you know when to turn?
yeah, it's probably the most terrifying thing.
Oh.
I pretty much have a pole with a pool noodle on the end of it, and then my coach and my parents or someone that is trustworthy
Yes.
stand
Yes.
at the end of the pool, and they pretty much just give me a tap on the head so I know that the wall is coming up, and then I take a stroke and flip.
Wow.
And sometimes I'll crash. It's not the best feeling, but it happens.
And what I mean, gosh, that must hurt, first of all, head first into a wall. How many times would you say you've crashed, and have you ever crashed into the wall so hard you've got, like, a concussion or an
Okay,
injury?
thankfully, I have never hit my head like hard enough to get damaged.
Mhm.
But I've broken probably all my fingers, wrists, and ankles. Um,
Oh my
but
goodness.
yeah, it's okay. We just gotta
And
fight through
I'm
it.
gonna say, like, already just the way that you talk and the way you go through all of this, like, unimaginable, but you always seem to put a positive turn on it. So where does your happy, upbeat personality and mindset come from, and has it always been this way?
Yeah, so I've always had a bubbly, happy personality. Once I kind of lost all my usable vision when I was 14, I went through obviously a very dark stage, no pun intended, maybe pun intended, but yeah.
And
Um,
wait, I'll pause you quickly there, because you do, like, you make light of these situations, and I think that's one thing, like, obviously I always want to be respectful, but I love how you always, like, lighten it up, make the little jokes. Like, Do you think everybody's reciprocative of these little lighthearted jokes? Or do you think it's like, listen, I'm in this situation, I can make them, but you need to watch what you say?
I mean, I give like the blind card, like the blind joke card. Some
Oh my
people can make fun of me, and then there's others that I'm like, I'll kill
no.
you. Like,
Yep.
don't do it.
Yep.
But I just think that the dark humor and making fun of myself is a way of me getting through it in a way.
It's coping with I always say this. I laugh through the trauma. I laugh
Exactly.
the
Me
trauma
too.
off. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
too.
it. So anyway, back to your bubbly mindset. You said you went through a dark phase with no pun intended, but tell me, there we go. Tell me about that a little more.
Yeah. So I kind of went through probably this 8-month period where I was just extremely depressed. It was the like, why me? Why is this happening to me?
Mhm.
And kind of just not wanting to get out of bed. I wasn't eating anything. My parents put me in like an outpatient therapy, and my family was so supportive.
Mhm.
And thankfully, I was kind of able to get through it. But the depression and the anxiety and everything just really was eating me up. And obviously, my family and my therapist and everything helped, but I think it really comes from you.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not getting stuck in this place anymore. Like, I'm getting out of this. I didn't want to be like some of the people that I knew who just like hated their lives. Like,
Yep.
I just didn't want to be like that. I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm going to make the best of my life. And yeah.
I absolutely love that. That is such a good mindset to have. Now, I want to come back to you said, why me? Why is this happening to me? Looking back, have you found your why? Are you like, listen, like I'm going through this because even in your Instagram bio, let's say you say changing the way you see the visually impaired. Do you think that that is your why? Do you think this is happening to you because you have the power to just change so many people's perspective on the visually impaired, the blind people in general?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that I love helping people, and sometimes, obviously, I'm at the point where I'm confident with myself, and I love who I am, and I still want to be here, which is so important.
Yes.
But sometimes I still have those why days. I'm like, why me? Why this?
Yeah.
And then I'll get one of those DM from a little girl or someone who's just younger and they're visually impaired, and they're saying how they're getting bullied and they just don't feel accepted or anything. And that kind of makes me love what I do and want to share about my life. And I think that losing my vision opened a lot more doors than it closed.
Wow.
So,
That's
yeah.
again such a good perspective, and your resilience from what I've even seen just on social media is absolutely incredible and so impactful on like obviously not just myself from just an outside perspective, but every single person you touch with your TikToks, which leads me into your content is so lighthearted and it makes the topic of being visually impaired a lot more normalized. I don't know anybody that makes the type of content you do. What started getting you into TikTok and where do you see your platform going? Because you're obviously huge. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you. You too. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
I just think that educating people is really important. People think that you have to have this stereotype of blindness, which I think Hollywood kind of put out there, where you have to look a certain way, act a certain way, and be a certain way.
Yep.
And they expect you to be like a zombie who's walking around with sunglasses. And that's not the case. Like, I can be an elite athlete. I can wear makeup. I can dress cute. I can do
Yes.
things. Kind of just showing the world that.
Yeah, like gosh, that breaking stereotypes consistently is what you do. And I love your videos where it's like, I'm blind and here's how I, take off my makeup. And you do the little jokes where like, moisturizer going everywhere and it's like that's making light of the situation, but it's like that's not a reality. Like not all people can't see what's going on. Like you have awareness, you're still like
People are so dumb. They think that like you
yes.
can't do anything. I'm like, I get
Yes.
how do you change if you're blind? I don't know, Karen. I take my pants off and I put them back on. Like,
You're like, I still have arms, legs, a whole body. I know how to grab my pants and put my legs in one by one. Like, I also love you made a TikTok, and it's how do you make it, people asking, how do you make a TikTok if you're blind? Well, I have my phone in my hand. I know where the phone is when I put it down. I think it's pretty obvious, but I love how you do that. Like, it's always lighthearted and fun.
Thank you. I love that. And I think a lot of people don't understand that only 10% of like the blind community sees black.
Yes.
So not a lot of people understand that. They just go by like that 10%, which is so weird to me.
Again, people are like, if you were to tell someone you're blind, automatically somebody's brain would definitely be like, okay, so she just can't see a thing. It's like closing your eyes, but that's just not the case.
Exactly.
For so many people. So going off of that, people being a little more naive, more unaware of the spectrum.
Yeah.
How's your comment section? Like, how do you deal with that?
They're terrible.
Yes. I can only imagine.
Yeah, people are mean, but I know that they're 5-year-old trolls that are just not happy with their own lives.
I love how you say that. I would just, obviously, on a couple episodes back on my podcast, I was like, at the end of the day, you need to remember this is a 5-year-old kid. This really is not the president of the United States saying, "Oh, da 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 da." It's somebody that is so irrelevant. And
you
just
have
like
no profile picture and 2 followers. Like, please.
User 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Like not even a name. Was there ever a time where a comment got to you on social media? Let's actually backtrack. So obviously you can't just read the comments on your phone. Do you use like a voice, you click on it? I know how it works. You click on the caption and then it speaks it to you.
Yeah.
So you gotta explain it, obviously, for everybody, but you can hear what people are saying. Like, it's still affecting you, right?
Yeah, 100%. So there's something called voiceover, and it's pretty much a text to speech. So anything you touch on the screen, it reads out loud. So I get all of the interesting comments. Ignorant comments.
Good. That's a good word.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they got to me a little bit in the beginning, but now I'm kind of like, okay, like, who are you? It's okay. You're like behind a screen, probably sitting on a couch, not doing anything with your life.
Eating potato chips. Let's add this in. Eating potato chips without a gold medal around their neck. Without a gold medal around their neck. Without breaking a world record. They're not in the books. And I think, gosh, like, what an amazing thing you can say. Like, always sit back and be like, listen, I am a gold medalist. Your little opinion doesn't even touch me. Like, no, but also, like, being a gold medalist, I just saw another one of your videos. I've been doing my research, but you have achieved, in my opinion, from an athletic perspective, the highest possible achievement in your field. You are a gold medalist. So you have gone to the highest point. What is next? Because you are so young and you have done what I think everybody dreams of doing in their lifetime. How do you go from such a high to now kind of coming back home, living your everyday life, just training again? What is that like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of hitting the post-Olympic blues that everyone kind of talks about. Because, like you were saying, from such a high down to, normal life again. And I've actually recently been having a tough time with training and everything, because when I go to these meets, I feel like I'm expected to do well because I'm the gold medalist and the world record holder. And I feel like I'm expected to, go out and break another record. Like, on the live stream, like, what's Anastasia Pagonis going to do next? Yeah. Like, get across the pool.
Yes.
Just get across the pool.
I will be in the pool. I will be swimming, whatever happens. Listen, like, take the pressure off. But I can only imagine, like, you are a gold medalist. People expect you to win everything from here. What are you going to be competing in the next Paralympics? What's your move?
Yeah, so I actually have world championships in June. So right now I'm training for that, which is exciting.
Oh my gosh.
It's in Portugal, in this like beautiful 5-star hotel. I'm so excited.
Oh, you gonna be living it up there.
So
Dang.
excited.
Oh my gosh.
I in Tokyo, I swam the 400 free, the 100 free, the 50 free, and the 200 IM. I have officially retired from the 50 free.
Oh,
The ripe
guys,
age of 17. We're done.
take something off your plate. Gosh, that sounds, listen, as somebody who hopped in the pool for 5 minutes and then had to get out, let me tell you, like, good on you for even doing a 400 because I cannot imagine. I cannot. Oh my
That's
gosh.
my main event. So that's probably definitely what I'll be swimming in Paris. But yeah, just taking it kind of day by day.
Yeah. Gosh. I mean, I am still like throughout my whole soccer career, I'm still chasing that like Olympic gold medal. So it's something like I constantly am training for every day. How much longer do you think you're going to swim for? How long do you think your career is going to go? And do you just want to swim, or do you have like other aspirations? Like, what, I feel like the world is just your oyster right now. Like, what do you want to do?
First of all, I want to say that you're going to make it to the Olympics, and
Oh,
we should totally be in Paris together. I think that would be really fun.
Goals. Could you even imagine? I'll be like, hey, oh, manifested this right now. We're gonna be at the Olympics together. Period.
100%. It's happening.
Love it.
Anyway, my goal is hopefully to make it until LA 2028 and kind of end on our turf in the US. I think that would be really fun. But you know what? I'm going to keep doing it until I don't enjoy it anymore. And yeah.
I think, yeah, 100% you need to stick with something that constantly makes you happy. And
yeah, and you know, like being an athlete, obviously, some days are really rough and you don't enjoy it, but at the same time, you do. You know what I mean?
It is the highs and lows, but I will say, no matter what my performance is like on the soccer field, there is some aspect of just therapy that just, like, I am calm no matter what is going on the field, and everything else in my life just disappears for the 2-3 hours I'm training a day.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
It's just a really good escape. 100%.
Agreed. 100%. You just feel like, I like to say, it's just me in the pool. It's just you in the field.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So we are going to transition back into the mental health side of things. You said you were kind of in the post Olympic blues, post gold medal blues. What do you do to get yourself out of the funks on the bad days? What's your kind of go-to thing that makes you happy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm still working on what to do and kind of that self-care routine. I kind of go to ice cream, which isn't the best thing as an athlete.
Wait, we are so similar. Whenever it's like, I look at my best friend and I'm like, ice cream date? Like, please, every single day?
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
Trying to push away from that. And just kind of do things that make me happy. I'm trying to not make swimming me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So obviously I'm a swimmer. You're a soccer player, but that's not who we are. And right now I'm trying to make sure that obviously the 4 or 5 hours a day I'm training, that's the only time I'm thinking and talking about swimming. The other time I'm kind of just being me. You know what I mean?
Because
so that's kind of been helping me.
Yes, you need an identity out of your sport. 100%. Now, question, with swimming, you are homeschooled, correct?
I go to college now, but I was.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So I was just going to ask, do you swim in college, and what's that like? Because I know how the college soccer route works. Is swimming different?
Yeah. So actually, it's been interesting. So my coach, that's been my coach for about 4 years, now went to a D2 swim school. So I decided that, you know what, I'm going to follow him because he's been the best for me.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to this school, which I never really wanted to do. And if I was going to go to school, my dream would be to go to like a D1 school and that sort of thing. But you know what? We decided to follow him. So it's okay.
Boom.
But the school has been like really rough with everything. They have been very annoying and frustrating. For someone that has a disability and is also an athlete, they are just not helpful. Obviously, when I swim, I need 2 tappers so people like that are at the edge of the pool to make sure I don't hit my head.
Yes, that seems to be, that should be the first thing they have in place for you, always,
So
yeah.
they don't have that, and it's not like I'm this blind girl that's coming in and, like, slowing down the whole team. I am one of the best athletes.
I will toot your own horn for you. You are the world record holder. Let's just drop that in there. Sisters, get her tappers. Jeez.
Yeah, and they're just being, like, really frustrating. I tried to get into the school in December, and I just got in April. So it's been hard. And the NCAA, they were great. They got everything done, like, so quick and overnight, literally.
Nice.
But they took away my freshman year because I competed at one dual meet.
Wow. That is definitely the craziest start to college. What are you studying?
I'm going for sports management. I thought, hey, I probably have a lot of connections with that.
Nice.
So, but that could change in the future. We'll see.
Heck yeah. Dang.
What are you going for? I feel like you're always, on all of your TikToks, you're always doing work.
I am always studying. I am a neuroscience major. So,
oh
yeah, it is hitting hard now. The workload has skyrocketed. But I've found what I absolutely love, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. And I think that's my best advice. Like, you might switch majors down the road, or you might absolutely love sports management. Find what you love and stick with it. Don't just do it because you're like, oh, I can get a good career out of it, because you'll burn out. That's my best advice. As long as you're obsessed with it, you're good.
100%.
Yeah.
I give you a lot of credit being a D1 athlete and going for that. I can't even do my own time management. I don't know how you do that. That's crazy. That's a lot.
We are all fighting our own little battles. It's a lot of work for everyone. Like, gosh, like you swimming. How many hours do you spend in the pool a day?
Yeah, so I spend 2 hours in the morning and then 2 hours in the afternoon, and then I'll probably do a lift session. So in the gym, we call it dry lands because swimmers.
Yeah.
So I'll do a dry land session probably like 3 times a week.
Okay, dang, y'all are training like crazy. Oh my gosh. That's heavy hours.
It's an endurance sport, which is unfortunate, but yeah.
Man. Okay, so in terms of time management and getting your work done, how has the school accommodated you getting your work done? How is the transition from homeschool to college? Because I bet that's a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, the school has been great with school, not swimming, but school.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm only doing half a course load because since I lost my vision at an older age, I don't know Braille and I'm not too great with technology.
Okay.
So it's been rough. I hear my guide dog coming.
Hi, Radar! What a cutie! Oh my gosh, I have major puppy fever.
Oh my gosh, he just got a haircut. He's so cute.
So cute. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Anyways, sorry.
You are all good.
Yeah, they've been really great with school, and obviously it's been difficult, but we're getting through it.
One step at a time. One step at a time. So your dog, can he name, what's the name of your dog?
Yeah. His name is Radar, which is a perfect name.
I love it. So does he come to school with you?
Yeah, he goes to school with me. He knows exactly where to go. He's very specific, and he likes to do things the exact perfect way. So if my parents or my boyfriend drops me off at school, he has to go to the crosswalk, even though the crosswalk's on the totally opposite side of the school. He has to go find the crosswalk, and then we can cross the street. I'm like, okay, whatever makes you happy, buddy.
Smart dog, and at least you know you're in good puppy hands.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my gosh. And how long have you had him?
I've had him for almost 2 years.
Wow. And did you find him coming into your life? Like, how much easier and how much of a difference has he made?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I have so much independence now. I can actually go do things by myself, and he's truly changed my life.
So if you don't have Radar with you, how do you go about your everyday things getting around? What do you need to support you and to help you do as many things as independently as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I usually use radar because that's the most independent way. But let's say like he's at the vet or he just doesn't feel like getting up in the morning. I'll use a sighted guide. So it'll probably be my boyfriend or one of my friends that'll pretty much just guide me around and take me places. And
Wow.
fingers crossed they don't let me hit into something.
Oh, have you ever? Do you have any funny stories about not even funny? Gosh, getting hit by a sign is I've walked into poles and signs myself, so I know that it hurts like a beep. I won't swear. Tell me about a story. You gotta have one.
Oh my goodness, yes. So this was in the beginning of my relationship. My boyfriend's still kind of learning how to guide me around and everything. And I took a step. He's like, step. So I knew that there was a step coming.
Yeah.
And I fell down the entire bleachers. You know how many steps are on bleachers.
Oh, bleachers.
I just went boom down all of them. And I was like crying, laughing, you know what I mean? So like it hurt, so I was crying, but at the same time, I could not stop laughing. I was like, that was the worst thing.
The worst thing, but again, you just laugh it off, and I just want to come back to like what an incredible mindset you have. Like I hope that everybody gets to the place that you are in terms of mentality. It's just inspiring.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. You mentioned your boyfriend has been helping you get around and did let you down a little on the bleachers, but we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. Tell me how you guys met, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. So me and my boyfriend have known each other for about 5 years, just from like the swimming community. We've been friends for a very long time. And once I got back from Tokyo, we kind of just we went on like our first date. We kind of just started getting closer and closer with each other. And then we ended up going to the same school and swimming on the same swim team. So yeah, it was kind of we were just put at the right time in the right place.
So like, that is like love growing. You guys have known each other for a long, long time.
Yes, we have.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So how long have you guys officially been dating?
We've officially been dating, I think it's been 7 months, not too long, but I feel like I've known him forever. So it's so weird. It feels like it's been so long.
It always feels longer. I love that. And then you guys are like just the absolute perfect swimming couple. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. So you guys go to the same college, and then how do you manage, because this was also a thing for me, like time with your boyfriend, time away from your boyfriend. Is that tricky?
Thankfully, we live very close to each other. We're like 5 minutes away from each other, which is really good. And we swim on the same team. We kind of have very similar schedules, which is great. So we mostly just hang out like at night. Because we have everything during the day.
And we'll say you guys do homework together, responsible stuff, getting all your stuff done. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, on that note, I'm so glad your love life is thriving and you seem just absolutely so happy. I think we'll definitely start wrapping this up. Where can everybody find you? Because I want, please, check out Anastasia's TikTok for sure. Plug in your ats and tell them where to follow you.
Yeah, all of my ats are Anastasia_K_P. So that's TikTok and Instagram.
Quick and easy. Guys, please go check her out because she is an absolute inspiration. And on that note, this podcast is called Keep Kickin, which obviously applies to the pool as well. We'll even say keep swimming for you.
Yeah,
for you.
That is the most clever name for you though. Keep Kicking with Kai. I actually love that.
Thank
did you think
you.
That?
I did come up with it. I will actually take credit for it. Yes, I did.
That's a really clever name.
Oh my gosh, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's just really about like, gosh, as you know, there are the highs and the lows, and it's just like you have to just keep going. Just don't stop. I mean, especially I would know this very well. If you stop kicking in the pool, you will go down. And that ain't I will never step foot body in a pool again. I've been a little traumatized. So you are absolutely incredible. Props to you for doing what you're doing and just your resilience, just
Thank you.
absolutely killing it in life. And I hope that I see you in Paris. I will see you in Paris. It's already planned. All right. Well, it's been such an amazing episode, and we'll wrap it up there. Guys, stay tuned for more episodes on Keep Kickin'. But what an amazing conversation, and thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Woo. Guys, that is a wrap on another episode with Keep Kickin' with Kai. Make sure to like, comment. I want to hear what you guys think. Hit subscribe to Past Your Bedtime on YouTube, and then check the podcast out on all other streaming platforms. Take a listen. Love you guys.